The hero Odysseus has been used by a number of later authors such as Joyce, Tennyson, Horkheimer, and Adorno. He's been taken to represent both the Greek spirit and the Western spirit. What kind of a hero is he? In the Homeric poems, the heroes are represented as having different characters based on specific qualities, with each having special strengths in one area or another. In the works, there is, so to speak, an ongoing discussion about the nature of what it is to be a great hero. Each of the heroes, and for that matter, each of the gods, has a specific epithet that describes him. Achilles is swift-footed, while Menelaus is warlike and Ajax is gigantic. Odysseus is represented as a special kind of Greek hero. Although he's strong and quick, he's not necessarily the strongest or the quickest. Instead, he's known for his intelligence. He is cunning, or with a different translation, resourceful Odysseus. While the Greeks had tried in vain for years to force their way into Troy by arms, Odysseus came up with an ingenious plan to get the Greek soldiers into Troy by means of the ruse of the wooden horse. In contrast to, for example, the rash Achilles, he uses his brain and not just brute strength to overcome obstacles and resolve conflicts. In the many challenges that he's confronted with in the Odyssey, he's constantly seen to step back, reflect, and make a plan with which he can effectively resolve the situation. Although the Odyssey is ostensibly about Odysseus and his long journey home after the war, it's striking that the first actual glimpse that we get of him only comes in Book 5. Books 1 to 4 tell the story of his son, Telemachus, who makes his own journey to try to find his father or learn some news about his fate. Thus, these initial books are referred to as the Telemachy. The story of Odysseus himself only begins in Book 5 when we find him languishing on the island as the beautiful goddess Calypso. He has been shipwrecked and has no way of continuing his journey. The first picture of Odysseus presented is somewhat surprising, given his reputation as a great warrior who bravely fought at Troy. We're told, quote, he was sitting out on the beach, crying, as before now he had done, breaking his heart in tears, lamentation and sorrow, as weeping tears he looked out over the barren water. This same description is repeated again a short time later, where it said, quote, his eyes were never wiped dry of tears, and the sweet lifetime was draining out of him as he wept for a way home. Odysseus longs to return to his homeland and his family after so many years, but the situation seems hopeless. He has no boat, no means of getting off the island. Why does the poet choose to present Odysseus in this way at the outset? The point is to tell us something about the nature of his character. This poignant picture must be put in its broader context to be fully appreciated. Odysseus is on an island with the goddess Calypso and lives in her home. She loves him and takes care of him. He's lacking nothing. Moreover, Calypso wants to make him a divinity. She invites him to stay with her and, quote, be the lord of her household and be an immortal. This sounds, on the face of it, to be a profoundly tempting offer. One can imagine that despairing Gilgamesh would have jumped at the opportunity and taken it without a second of reflection. Calypso is a beautiful nymph who Odysseus concedes is far more attractive than his wife Penelope. Moreover, he knows full well that he will have to endure great difficulties and suffering in order to get home, but yet he insists on returning to his home and family in Ithaca. For Odysseus, the good life is not in the first line about sensual pleasure, wealth, or immortality. It's about living with one's family and occupying a role of respect in the community. This anticipates some of the elements of Aristotle's political theory and anthropology. The life of carnal bliss offered by Calypso falls short of what a truly human life should be. Immortality alone is not in and of itself necessarily a good thing.